The fight game is not for the faint of heart. It is a world where dreams are crushed as often as they are realized, where men spend years clawing their way up the rankings, only to see everything slip through their fingers in a single night. And yet, for those who refuse to quit, those who can absorb the pain and keep moving forward, the door to greatness is never truly shut. Roman Dolidze understands this better than most. He has been here before, standing on the precipice of something greater, staring at the opportunities that lay just beyond his reach. He has felt the sting of defeat, the frustration of knowing that he was capable of more, that he let something slip away. But now, standing at this crossroads once again, he has vowed that things will be different. This time, there will be no hesitation, no second guessing, no regrets. This time, he will seize his moment. UFC Vegas 104 is more than just another fight for Dolidze. It is a chance to rewrite history, to correct a mistake that has haunted him since that fateful night in 2023 when Marvin Vettori had his hand raised in victory. That fight had been a war. A brutal, grinding battle between two warriors who refused to give an inch. But in the end, it was Vettori who imposed his will, who edged out the win, leaving Dolidze to walk away with the bitter taste of unfinished business. For some fighters, a loss like that is just another chapter in the book, a lesson learned, a stepping stone toward future success. But for Dolidze, it was something more. It was a reminder that in this sport, there are no guarantees, that the smallest misstep can cost you everything. And it was a reminder that he had yet to reach his full potential. That is why this rematch means everything. Not just because a win over Vettori would propel him up the rankings, not just because it would put him one step closer to a title shot, but because he needs to prove to himself that the fighter who lost that night is not the fighter he truly is. He needs to silence the doubts, to erase the lingering whispers in the back of his mind that ask if he will ever be more than just another good fighter, if he will ever be great. And the only way to do that is to step into the octagon and make a statement that cannot be ignored. But the path to redemption is never easy. Vettori is not the kind of fighter who gives away victories. He is relentless, a man who thrives in the grind, who drags his opponents into deep waters and dares them to survive. He has fought some of the best in the division, standing toe-to-toe with elite fighters, proving time and again that he belongs among the best. And he has no intention of letting Dolidze rewrite history at his expense. He sees this fight as his own opportunity, his own chance to remind the world why he was once considered a future champion. He is just as desperate, just as hungry, just as determined to win. And that is what makes this fight so dangerous. The middleweight division itself is in chaos, a landscape shifting beneath the feet of its fighters, creating openings for those bold enough to seize them. The old guard, once untouchable, is beginning to falter. Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker, and Sean Strickland men, who once held the keys to the division, have all suffered recent defeats, and their futures are uncertain. Meanwhile, new names are rising, fighters hungry for their shot at the throne, ready to take their place among the elite. Dricus du Plessis now sits at the top, wearing the crown after a meteoric rise that few saw coming. But his reign is already under threat, with Khamzat Chimaev waiting in the shadows, a storm gathering just beyond the horizon. Their clash seems inevitable, a fight that could reshape the division once again. And yet, beneath that looming battle, the rest of the contenders are jockeying for position, looking for their own path to the title. This is the chaos Dolidze must navigate, the battlefield he must cross if he wants his shot at gold. And it starts with Marvin Vettori. The reality of the fight game is that there are no easy paths to a title shot. There are no shortcuts, no free rides. Every victory must be earned. Every battle must be fought. And that is exactly what this fight will be, a battle. Dolidze knows that if he wants to win, if he wants to move forward, he will have to go through hell to get there. He will have to dig deeper than he ever has before, to push himself beyond his limits, to prove that he belongs among the best. Beyond Vettori, there is another name that lingers in Dolidze's mind, another ghost from his past that he is desperate to exorcise: Nasruddin Imavov. Their fight still doesn't sit right with him. He respects Imavov's skill. He acknowledges that he lost, but deep down, he believes that fight was not a true reflection of what he is capable of. He wasn't in the shape he needed to be. He didn't use his full arsenal. He let the fight slip away from him, and for a competitor like Dolidze, that is a mistake that cannot be ignored. Now, with Imavov coming off the biggest win of his career, a stunning knockout of Israel Adesanya, Dolidze sees a path to redemption. If he gets past Vettori, if he delivers the kind of performance he knows he is capable of, a rematch with Imavov could be within reach. And this time, he intends to leave no doubt. But none of that matters if he doesn't handle business this Saturday. The future, the possibilities, the potential rematches, they are all meaningless if he doesn't beat Marvin Vettori. That is the only thing that matters right now. That is the fight that will determine whether Dolidze is truly ready to enter the elite, or whether he will once again find himself looking up at the fighters above him, wondering what went wrong. This is his moment, his opportunity to seize control of his destiny. And he knows that there is no room for hesitation, no room for doubt. He must step into that cage and fight as though his career depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. The stakes could not be higher. The middleweight division is evolving, and Dolidze has a choice: become a part of the new era or be left behind as another fighter who almost made it. He knows what is on the line. He knows that a win here changes everything. And he knows that when the cage door closes, there will be no excuses, no second chances, only the truth of what happens in those 15 minutes. He has trained for this. He has prepared for this. And now, all that remains is to fight. Saturday night will be the moment of truth. The time for words will be over. The time for talk will be done. There will only be two men standing across from each other, and when the dust settles, only one of them will move forward toward the title picture. Roman Dolidze is ready. He has been waiting for this moment. Now, all that remains is to make it count.